I think Italian suits are great. They're not constructed the same. Okay, you could arguably say ours are firmer, but that's the way we make them. We create a waistline that some people haven't got. You know, and it can't all be Adonis's type of thing. And I think the Italian suit it's not got a lot of style. And I found over the years that I've got quite a good Italian base that want the waisted look, the grey flannels like the old days, the suede shoes, the cutaway blue shirt, i.e. what you're wearing, which is great, and the knitted tie. That they love that English look because they'll get an Italian suit and it's great. I mean, you can't knock it. There's some Brioni, Caracini, wonderful tailors, but it's not quite got that snap that we get into it, and I think that's what we score. We can produce that with the Savile Row look, which they don't. So, hope it lasts.
And when people think about suits, do you think it's something? Well, first of all, why do we even wear suits? We're in England here, and pretty much the basis of what I'm wearing, which is a three-piece suit, started here. It started in royalty, right? It
did. I think I only learnt this a wee while ago, but it started Charles II, whatever period that is. It's 16 something, yeah. I would think. I actually read it in a book, and I wasn't quite sure. But it's perfectly true. Not as we know a suit. They still had that doublet and hose and all this, but it was actually three pieces of the same material, which we do now.
They had mixed colors.
Silk waistcoats, brocade top coat, breeches were made out of silk. It looked great for the period, but he obviously coming to the throne. Charles I first died, and he came to the throne, and like all monarchs, they like to change things, and he just didn't want to go down that route. So it was actually made. I think it was made of wool. I mean, it was a wool fabric that was probably more or less the same design, but it was all of the same colour. So it goes back quite a long way, and it's something that we're proud of, I think.
And then in Victorian times, the English everything got exported to the world.
Yes.
And the suit probably was one of those great exports.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To Africa and Asia.
To say, yeah.
And America.
Yeah. I think to say, where'd you get your clothes made? Savile Row. Just that name, isn't it? Savile Row. I think it's a great name. I mean, it could be whatever, but I don't know, it's just there, isn't it? It's just correct.
And so for people that don't know, what is the history of Savile Row? I mean, that's a road and kind of an area here in London, which is considered, of course, where the best suits are made.
Yeah, so I understand, and don't quote me, but I think I'm right. I think before it runs from, Conduit Street through to Vigo Street, that's Savile Row, and on the corner number 1 is Geeves and Hawkes, which is a very famous name, and then it goes down towards Conduit Street. But I think originally, and I might be wrong, but I think that street had professional guys in there, like doctors and solicitors, and then it just opened, and then it became evolved over like sort of premises come tailors moving in. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think I'm pretty well on the money. And it then, produced, as I say, the look that we're still doing, only we've modified it a lot, obviously, to cater for the younger. We do make the jackets a little bit shorter, but not to the extent that you see, ridiculously short. But that's fashion. I'm not knocking that. It's just a cycle, and it comes and goes.